Hello and welcome to the next episode of the Nourish and Strengthen podcast. I believe this is episode 99, which is pretty crazy. 99. I've got something special for you guys next week. On episode 100, I got something special for you. So make sure you tune in next week for episode 100. But today, we're going to be talking about something that is so important in your fitness journey. And I might go as far as to say without this piece, you are not going to be successful in truly maintaining the weight you lose and truly making these habits a lifestyle, right? So we're going to be talking about identity. Okay, I know that sounds kind of woo-woo, but just hear me out. Most people, when they're trying to lose weight, change their body, look stronger, more toned, they start out by like joining a gym, cleaning out your pantry, pushing harder in your workouts, all these changes that are more surface level. But today I'm going to be talking to you about something called the hierarchy of change. And this is a really powerful framework that's going to explain like why most people, they just kind of fizzle out on their fitness goals. And we're going to talk about how to create transformation and a lifestyle that actually sticks. Okay, you guys ready? So let's go ahead and jump on in. First thing I want you to think about, I actually have a quote here. It is by someone named Richard Bandler. And he says the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions you ask yourself. Okay, so think about this. If you are constantly asking yourself small, limiting questions like, why does this happen to me? What's wrong with me? And these kind of like downer questions, right? Like nothing ever goes right for me. Thinking these kind of thoughts in your mind, you're focusing on blame, negativity, and things that are just going to keep you stuck. But what if when you had like trials or hard times, what if you asked yourself more empowering questions like, what can I learn from this? What is one small step I can take to improve my situation? How can I turn this challenge into an opportunity? Do you see how both those questions can pertain to like maybe a otherwise negative or a challenging type of situation? But the questions you're asking yourself literally dictate your thoughts and your mindset around your challenges, right? So better questions are going to lead to better answers, and better answers are truly going to lead to a better life. So I want you to really get clear on what your goals are in your health and fitness journey. So journal on things like, what are you trying to learn? What do you need to do to get to where you need to be? Maybe what do you need to let go of in your life to get to where you need to be? What's going to happen in your life if you do make these changes? Like list out all the benefits to your life of whatever your goal is. Maybe your goal is losing 30 pounds. What is going to benefit your life by losing 30 pounds? And also what's going to happen in your life if you don't make these changes? List out all the consequences so you can see, okay, this is where I'm trying to go. This is what I'm trying to achieve. And this is why I'm trying to achieve it. Because if I don't, this is going to happen. Okay. Also list out what you think is the number one reason stopping you from achieving your goals. Okay. What are you most excited about achieving with your goals and what truly motivates you? So these kind of questions are going to really help you get clear on the end goal of where you're going, and kind of, it'll help you kind of not stay stuck in the weeds of like 10,000 steps, getting in my lifting, hitting my macros, because those things require a lot of willpower if you don't know where you're going, why you're going there, and just kind of create a new identity around that goal. Okay. So let's talk about this. The hierarchy of change. This is from Robert Dilts's book called Logical Levels of Change. Okay. So when it comes to personal growth or really just making any long lasting changes in your life, not all changes are equal. Okay. Some are going to be much more effective than others. And so certain tweaks, kind of like I mentioned at the beginning, like joining a gym, laying out your workout clothes the night before, these kind of things, changing your environment are going to help a little bit. They're more surface level, right? But other things are going to be so much deeper and more transformative. Okay. So I'm going to talk you through this hierarchy. Okay. I want you to imagine a pyramid. Okay. Across the bottom of the pyramid, that represents your environment. Okay. This is where and when you act, right? It's where it's your surrounding. It's your home. It's your car. If you go to a gym, it is where you are living, basically. Okay. The next level up is your behaviors. And this is what you do throughout the day, right? The next level up is your capabilities. So this is about the middle of the pyramid here. And this is how you do things. It is like your skills, your strategies, how you approach life, how you approach your fitness journey. Okay. Next level up, so we're on the top of the pyramid here. We've got 2 more levels above this one, is your beliefs and values. So this is why you do the things you do, your motivations, your view of the world. You can see how we're getting higher and higher, not so surface level, right? The next one up is identity. And this is who you truly see yourself as. If you go on a big weight loss journey, let's say you want to lose 50 to 100 pounds, your identity must shift. It has to shift, or you are not going to maintain that weight loss. Okay. You have to become a new person in the process of your transformation. Okay. And the very, very tip of that pyramid is your purpose. And this is your mission, your contribution to the world. This is your highest level of like why you feel like you're here. Okay. So let's talk through each level here really quick. So with the environment, again, couple examples. Okay. It is like your results, your reality. Okay. Your behaviors, again, your actions, your habits, how much water you drink, how many steps you get, how many times you lift, that kind of thing. Your capabilities. Do you understand why you're doing things, right? Do you know why you're lifting weights, why it's so important? Because when you know why, you're much more likely to be consistent, right? Next one up is what you believe, what's important to you. Is it important to you to build a strong body, and why? Maybe it's because you want to be strong well into your older ages. You want to be a strong grandma who can lift your grandkids and not fall and get hurt, that kind of thing. It's like, what is really important to you in life? And then identity, who we really, really are. And did you know you can choose this? Okay. This is not something that is passed down from your parents or your grandparents and you're just stuck with it. You absolutely can change. And then your mission is your highest purpose, right? So think about the lower levels. Think about the lower levels kind of like the soil. Like, let's talk about like you're planting a tree. Okay. So the lower levels are like the environment is the soil around the tree. Okay. You can change the soil. You can move the tree to a new spot. It might grow a little bit better, but overall it's still the same tree. Okay. Your behaviors are like the branches and the leaves of the tree. These are the visible actions that you're taking. You can trim them, you can change them, but really if like the roots of the tree stay the same, the tree is not going to really fundamentally change, right? Your capabilities are like the tree's roots ability to take in water and nutrients. So if you have a good, healthy tree, it can take in that water and nutrients easier, right? Your beliefs and values are like the nutrients in the soil. If it's rich and supportive, the tree's going to thrive. If it's not good nutrients, if it's not good soil, your growth is going to be stunted. You're not going to do as well, right? And your identity is like that tree trunk, the core of who you are. So when you change that tree trunk, your identity, it reshapes the whole entire tree, right? Okay. So a lot of people think in order to make changes, like deep changes to their life, they need to start at the environment level, right? But I'm going to kind of challenge that a little bit. I want to talk about flipping that upside down and really talk about how when you dial in your purpose, your identity, that is when you create the most lasting change. Okay. So I want you to ask yourself, who must I become along this journey in order to maintain the result I want, but also keep that? Okay. So let's talk about an example here. We're going to talk about someone. Let's just pretend it's like New Year's. Okay. Let's pretend it's New Year's and someone says, I'm going to lose 50 pounds. I am ready. I'm going to do this. And that's my decision. Okay. And most people, the first thing they do is they change their environment. Okay. That base level, right? And they think, okay, I'm going to join a gym. I'm going to throw away all the junk food in my house. I'm going to get new workout clothes so I'm more motivated. I'm going to go buy dumbbells. Do you see how this is changing the environment around you? Okay. And they also might decide to change their behaviors the next level up. Okay. Maybe they say, I'm going to work out 4 times a week. I am going to eat healthier. I'm going to track my macros, drink more water, get more sleep. All of these are changing the actions, right? And many people think that's all you have to do. Okay. But those 2 levels out of 6, you're only really, really changing like 5% of the formula. 95% comes from changes to those deeper levels. And you'll see like at the new year, that's why, by February, March, 95% of people have fallen off track, right? Because this approach, by just changing environments and behaviors, it requires so much discipline and willpower that it's really hard to stay consistent for a long time, right? If you've tried to change your behavior, your circumstances, your environment, and just can't stay with it long term, listen up, because this is the exact situation that I'm talking about, okay? These people, that this happens to you, you never actually discover like what your beliefs are about getting fit, how to lose weight, why it's important to you, increasing your skill set, your knowledge, your capabilities, and really making healthy living like a part of your mission and passion in life, right? So let's take our example here a little bit farther. All right, so we talked about changing your environment, changing your behaviors, and next up, capabilities. Okay, so when you change your capabilities, that's when you think, okay, maybe I'm going to, actually, no, sorry, let's go back. Let's flip it upside down. Okay. So instead, we're going to flip that pyramid upside down. And now I'm going to make the purpose level the biggest level of the pyramid. Okay. So purpose, getting fit. So back to our 30-pound example, getting fit, losing this weight is part of my biggest mission in life, because the healthier I am, the better I feel, the more energy I have, and then I'll show up as a better wife, mother, employee, or business owner, or friend, or sister. I'll just have more energy and purpose and empowerment to commit to my other priorities in life, right? So that's how it can play into your greatest purpose. It's so important to you because it's that important to show up as the best you that you can, right? And then, okay, so at the identity level, changing this here, I am a fit person. I am someone who values making healthy choices and putting my best foot forward and making changes every single day to show up as that fit, healthy person. Because remember, you get to choose this. Even if you feel like that's not truly who you are quite yet, you can change those wordings to say, I am working every day to become XYZ, right? Then beliefs and values. I believe I'm worthy of being fit and healthy. Maybe you tell yourself that your body easily lets go of excess weight. It no longer needs it. Your metabolism is speeding up on a daily basis, and getting fit and losing this weight is very important to you now. And so these are things you can tell yourself, kind of like affirmations or mantras, right? Really dialing in on how much you value this health and fitness journey you're on. And sometimes you need to just say it to yourself over and over and over again until your subconscious like truly believes it, right? And now we're back to that middle, kind of where people start. Capabilities. Hire a coach. My coaching team is here to help you with this kind of stuff. This is exactly what we work on with our coaching clients. So maybe you hire a coach to show you exactly what to do, exactly how to reach your goals. And then you have that support, you have that guidance, you have that accountability, right? And now we are to the behaviors. So if all those things are important to you, if they're part of your biggest purpose and mission, because it is so important to you to show up as the best you that you can for your family, for those around you, for your career, then it's easier to work out your 4 days a week, get your 10,000 steps in, hit your macros every day, right? And then you will naturally adapt your environment to support you reaching those goals. Does that make sense? How flipping the whole pyramid up on its head has so much more of a lasting change. So that's what I want to challenge you guys with today. Okay. I want you to think, if I can leave you with a couple journaling prompt ideas, I truly want you to get out a piece of paper and answer some of these questions. Okay. I'm going to go back up to the beginning and I'm going to read some of these questions for you that we talked about at first. All right. First one, I want you to know where you're going. Okay. What is your goal with your fitness and health journey? And why do you want to get there? Okay. Write it out. Why? And what do you need to let go of in order to be there? Maybe it's nighttime snacking. Maybe it is hanging out too much with a toxic friend that always sabotages your healthy eating, or whatever it is. And then list out what will happen in your life if you do make these changes and reach your goal, and what will happen in your life if you don't. And then write out the number one thing you think is stopping you from achieving your goals. What are you most excited about with achieving your goals, and what truly motivates you? Okay. So I want you to really, really think about the answers to those questions. Write up a little one pager that you can look at often to remind you why you're doing this. And then I want you to think about flipping that pyramid upside down and tackling your goals and your intentions first with a bigger purpose, right? Your purpose, your identity, your beliefs and values. And that will naturally trickle down and change your behavior, your environment, your capabilities, things like that. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys today. I just recently did a training on this for our clients and we found it very useful. Your mindset is everything, you guys. It is everything. So yeah, let me know on social if you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys next week.